Good morning, everyone. We are going to be walking along Washington Street in Lower Manhattan. This is sort of like the West Village, Chelsea area, I guess. I guess we'll be walking through the Chelsea area. To my right here is the High Line. It is the old abandoned railroad that has been converted into a park. And yes, I have done walks on the High Line. There are a couple in there on the channel you can find, so you could go back and watch those. I think the next time I go on the High Line, I'll just record it without any narration, and I'll probably do it live. So stay tuned for that in the future, I guess. What we're going to do is we're going to walk down Washington Street. Pretty much the complete distance. We're going to take this into the financial area, into the World Trade Center area. So we're going to be going in over by the World Trade Center. Stay tuned. It will come up at the end of the walk. But anyway, this is Washington Street. There's a couple of Washington Streets throughout the area. I know there's one in Brooklyn because I've walked that one once. But this is Washington Street in Manhattan. We are currently walking south. We are walking due south. It is 60 degrees right now. It is really nice outside. It definitely feels like spring. I had a jacket on this morning. The jacket is now in the bag. So I am not wearing the jacket anymore. So what's there to say about Washington Street? There's a lot of big buildings. Lofts, apartments, all these dogs. You need big apartments when you have a lot of dogs, like that person right there. That person might just be a dog walker, though. We don't know. I don't know if that's her dogs, but we are walking into a little bit of a breeze, so hopefully it doesn't really take over the microphone too much. Like I said, it is really nice out. So once again, we are in Manhattan, continuing our walks through Manhattan, checking out all of these streets. Now the sun is in front of us. So I'm walking mostly on the shade side. This is an area of Manhattan many years ago, back in the 80s, which was in the middle of a lot of redevelopment because there was a lot of issues down here. But this area has really, over the last 20 years, is a very nice area. It's definitely an area a lot of people like to come and walk around and tour. And if you haven't ever seen it, you're going to see it now. You'll probably see a lot of dogs. There's another dog walker here with two big dogs. So I'm breaking 2 golden rules doing this walk. 2 really big ones. These are my 2 biggest rules that I pass on to everybody when you're doing any kind of camera work. But it's one of those situations where I wanted to break the rules one time. First rule is I never walk or I never film in the direction of the sun in front, because the sun obviously can bleach out a lot of the view, and it could also it's a pretty harsh backlight when you're trying to film subjects and stuff like that. So that's the first rule I'm breaking. Second rule I'm breaking is the wind, right? So I always walk with the wind on my back, one way or another. But that's a rule I break more, because then I use the wireless mic with the windsock. But I'm not doing that today, so. So at times, you guys are going to have to squint, and you guys will hear some wind. So. You can start to see the skyline down there. We're gonna have to cross the street, by the way, because there's a construction area going on, but you can see the World Trade Center right there with the big crane. That optical illusion, that crane is a lot closer than that building, but it looks like the crane is on top of on top of the World Trade, but it's just a perspective illusion. All right, I will get back on the other side now.
I think that's cute.
A nice quiet street down here. I wasn't expecting it to be quiet down here, but not a lot of traffic coming through here. Look at that Brillo box in the window. Look at that Brillo box. I wonder if that box is worth $1 million. At the west side right there, West Side Highway, and you know the nice walk they have along the Hudson. see these big archways on this building. Look at this. This is one of those armory type buildings. A lot of the buildings down here, when you get through here, like Chelsea and the Tribeca area, you got a lot of these old school, like armory type buildings that have been renovated and touched up. Especially when you get down by like Greenwich Street. So Greenwich Street is over here. I believe it's either on my left or my right. I used to work down on Greenwich at the Citibank building. It's on my left. This guy on the bike is yelling and he's angry. He's a delivery guy, so. I don't see you, he says. He is angry. Trying to deliver somebody's food. He is still yelling. He's trying to deliver somebody's food and they're not here to pick it up, I guess, so. Always an interesting moment in New York City, I'll tell you that. Didn't I just say like a few minutes earlier is nice and quiet street to walk down? This right here is called Leroy Street. Named the street after Leroy. See people going on their run. So this is those cranes we saw earlier right here. This is what they're building. So we are entering a construction zone. You see, we are perfectly lined up with the World Trade Center. We are walking straight to that area. This spot over here that we're walking in will kind of get a little desolate. This right here on my left is the UPS, a UPS facility. So this building right here, this is UPS. I am the only one walking on this entire block. When we get past this whole area here with these big buildings, we will get back into some regular brick buildings and stuff. So we gotta fight it out here. I see a lot of these loading docks. I'll tell you, when you walk this spot right here, I've been on this block before in the past. It almost doesn't feel like you're in New York City. It just feels like you're somewhere like on the outer boroughs, like on First Avenue or something. And a nice cool breeze hitting me. Feels really good. So you see that big building up there in front of the World Trade? That is where I worked when I had stated I worked on Greenwich Street at the Citibank, the main Citibank hub in downtown Manhattan. That's it right there. That in front of us is the Citibank. Well, at least I think it still is. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's still Citibank, unless it's changed over the years. But the last time I worked in there was back in 2008, so we're going ways back. That's why I'm saying, I worked there and it was Citibank. If it's still Citibank, great, but if it's not, that's why I'm I guess misrepresenting it, but I'm pretty sure it's still Citibank. All right, so we're going to cross Spring Street and we're going to start getting back into a more of a neighborhood type of scenery here. And this is a stop sign. This is a four-way stop over here. Actually, it's only a two-way stop. No, wait, it is... Yeah, it's a four-way stop. This is the Holland Tunnel facility building. A lot of mechanical stuff in there. Probably handles all the atmospherics of the tunnel and the electrical. I said atmospherics like it's a spaceship, but yeah, handles a lot of stuff like that. This right here is Canal Street. And once again, we continue to walk on very quiet streets down here. Look at this building. It's a nice building right here. This area is like, you know, Chelsea, Tribeca area right now that we're in. Tribeca, it's actually an acronym, stands for the triangle below Canal Street. That is what Tribeca means. Now we're about to hit the end here, but we're going to keep walking. We're going to switch on to Greenwich Street. We'll walk right by that big office building I used to work in. It tends to get a little... Foot traffic is going to pick up once we make our turn off of the street. When we get down to Greenwich and we get close to the financial center. Ooh, we got a nice gust of wind just came in. See a lot of cobblestones down here. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get off of Washington now, because Washington ends right over there anyway. So let's move over. And then this right here is Greenwich Street. I'll give you some more looks at these old armory style buildings. And they got all these loading docks. You can see like right here next to me on my arm, my right arm. You get all these like high loading dock areas. All right, let's get back into the shade. Here we go. So now for the rest of this walk, we're going to walk to the end of Greenwich Street. Yes, we are walking on more cobblestones. give you guys a look at the buildings over here. Really tall. 1, 2, 3, about 6, 7-story buildings. To even think I used to work down here at one point, I was only down here a very short period of time. I'll tell you, it was hard to eat lunch down here because a lot of places down here are like high end. You know, where you pay like $20, $30 and you get nothing. I remember when I was working down here, I'd have to walk blocks to get a regular poor man's lunch. So the foot traffic is going to start picking up now. So this is the beginning of the financial area, the north side.
And they're like, she's okay.
And there goes the office building I told you about earlier that I used to work in. That is still Citibank. I can see the city sign in the lobby is still there. I worked here for a short period of time. I actually worked here, interesting story, I worked here during the financial crisis. And I was a contractor, so I didn't work full-time for Citibank, but I was an outside contractor. We had to upgrade some computer systems, and it was right when everything started crashing, and I started to see a lot of people getting laid off and lose their jobs and stuff. It was a pretty horrible time in the city. I'll never forget that. 2007, 2008, even into 2009. Looks like the Dwayne Reed is still here. Walgreens. It wasn't Walgreens back then, it was just Dwayne Reed. It was before Walgreens started buying up all the mid-sized pharmacy businesses. You start to see how big the financial center looks down here when you get closer to these buildings, the World Trade. You start to see how much these buildings tower over all. Like this building right here, look how big this is right here. And then you look at the World Trade and you see how much bigger the World Trade is. This building could probably fit inside the World Trade. And speaking of Duane Reade, here's Duane Street. And if you walk down Duane Street, you'll find Reade Street, and that's where the first Duane Reade was, because it was on the corner of Duane and Reade. Duane Reade. But we are a little bit ways up from Duane and Reade Street. Because if you see it right here, they have not mixed yet. So this next block here is Reade Street. And eventually, as you walk down, they will cross. So here you go. This is looking down Reade Street now. All right, so here we are. We are getting close to the World Trade Center site. Foot traffic is going to start to really pick up down here. This right here is Chambers Street. Starting to recognize the names of these streets. These are the popular downtown Manhattan streets that run through Broadway. Right here is Warren Street.
Right? You clock this after 12.
There is always a lot of police activity down here. You will always find police activity going on down here. Give you guys a look up. We have made it down to the World Trade Center site. We're about to get into it. This is where you start getting all those crazy reflections out on the street because you get a lot of sun coming off the buildings. Everything is glass. This is the Tribeca Target. I have considerably slowed down my walking pace because it's getting a little tight down here. This is Manhattan Community College right here. BMCC, Borough of Manhattan Community College. It gets a little confusing here, though. I gotta figure out where we're walking. It's like a maze. I guess we'll go this way. I could have went to my right. Doing a lot of open street construction over here. Got a lot of those underground cables.
Solid one, maybe a little bit longer and pull them up. I'm like, okay, you got it.
Now you can see here, there is no way you're getting no traffic down here. They got the barriers up right now. So it's safe to walk in the street over here. This is a checkpoint here. You got the 9/11 Memorial over here. You've got One World Trade. I'll give you guys a look up. That is a very tall building. So what we're going to do right now is take a stop over at one of the footprints of the old World Trade. And now we're going to go in there. That's the last thing we're going to walk through. Very beautiful in there. If you've never been in there, I will show you all what it looks like. I do want to get over to one of the reflection pools real quick, which is right here. All right, so we are going to head inside this structure, show you guys around. Basically a mall area and a transit hub. It's got a couple of levels. We'll take the upper level first, and then we'll make our way down to the lower level, and that's where we'll end it. Now what I'm going to do for you guys first, before we go in, is we will walk around it real quick, and then we'll come back around here. So if you see where these people are entering, that's where we're going to enter. We're going to walk around. We'll take one lap around. So this is a very, very popular destination when people come down here, especially for photography. I mean, there's so many pictures of this structure. And you could see, like, this person here sitting down. You can sit on these. These are areas for people to sit. Right here is the Millennium Hotel on Church Street. So this is Church Street right here. So that's what you're looking at right here, Church Street on my left and in front of me. And this is where you get some nice, amazing views of the World Trade Center with this structure. And you can see the way the sun just bounces off of the top because of the shadows of the buildings. All right, we're gonna take you inside now. So here we go. We're gonna do some walking around. Here you go, guys. That in front of us is the 1 train. You will find a lot of trains that come through here. You've got New Jersey Path. You've got the one that we just saw. You have the R train that goes through here. The R and the W. There's a lot of trains that go through here. Ton of trains. Almost all of the local type of trains will come through here. Somebody's down there playing the piano. We're going to make one lap around and then we're going to go downstairs. And I'll show you some spots where you can stand to get some what they call rules of thirds photography. They actually have some target spots on the ground that you can stand to make sure that you get those shots. Because they knew there were a lot of people who were going to take pictures in here. So I got an Apple store right here on my right, coming up. You know what, guys? I should have started on the other side because in order to get down there, I got to go back around. Oh, no. Well, oh, no, that's an escalator up. Never mind. So what I'll do, here's what I'll do. I could cut it all out, I could edit it all out, but instead what I'll do is I will now show you guys the shops on this right side of me that I didn't show earlier. So that gives you something different to look at. And then I'll go down the center staircase. As you can see, it goes all the way this way. There's a lot of places to look. As a matter of fact, we'll go this way because there are stairs. So it's just more of a mall area that goes this way. So we will take the escalator down to the main area. And if you look at this sign here, you can see all the trains that come in through here. I'll give you guys the look of the sign. You can see all the trains, the 1, the AC, the R, the W, JZ, and the 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 1, and the path. So here we are. We are on the main concourse. What we'll do is we will walk this way and then back. This is where the path is for New Jersey. So if you're going in or out of New Jersey, this is where those trains live. I used to, when I was a contractor, I also worked out in Newark a couple of times. I used to come in through here. I didn't go in through 34th Street because it was quicker. You had that straight Newark train that just came straight here. And then I would just jump on the R train to go home. But that's the area right there. You'll see where you would get the trains. You see all the turnstiles. And you go downstairs, down those escalators. Now, if you remember when we had the 9/11 attacks, there was the exposed tunnels when the buildings collapsed. That's what these were. They had to, all of the path tunnels were exposed. You could actually go back and look at video of when they were cleaning up the area, and you could see at one point they started running trains while they were still building stuff. You could see the trains running through the tunnel exposed. Now on either side of this concourse, you'll see these plates here. And they're not just, like service. I mean, you could stand here and pretty much get some good rules of thirds shots. Like this one. You could come over here and get a center shot. Here's the center shot right here. You can do that. Perfectly lined up. My camera might not be lined up because of the way I'm holding it, but this is really center line. And then when you look up, you can see, when we get to the other side, I'll show you, but you can see some of the buildings through the windows. And we're going to end it on the other side there by the stairs. Because what I'm going to do is jump on the train right after I finish filming this. And you can see the guy over there is playing the piano. There's someone playing piano right now. That's what you're hearing. This is where we're going to end it. Right here. Here you go with 3 more little spots you could stand in to take pictures. And you can see One World Trade through the window there, through the ceiling. I'll come in a little bit more. There you go. You can see it. Alright guys, so I'm going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for tagging along on the walk. We did about an hour. We walked down Washington Street, got onto Greenwich. We went around the World Trade Center site. We stopped at one of the reflection pools, and now we are ending it here. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and I will catch you all on the next walk. So take care, and bye-bye.